Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 5, I think, episode 5 of the Red Talk podcast here on the sportycast YouTube channel. I'm your host, AF, and today I am joined. She might not be a new face to the channel. If you have been keeping up with our videos over the past year and watched the Sea Point Promenade videos, she might look a bit familiar to you. Danielle October. She is a friend of the channel. She's been wanting to come on the channel for a while, and she finally makes her appearance. Welcome.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Yes, so happy to make my debut on this channel. Been wanting it for a while. Big fan. So nice to finally have that moment.
And I don't know how I can put this because we've just come off a very frustrating result. But before we get to that, there's always something called an icebreaker here on the Sportycast YouTube channel. And on the Red Talk, the icebreaker is always Manchester United centric. So, Dan, if you could go back to any Manchester United event in the past, even if you weren't presently there, what would it be and why?
Any Manchester United event? Yo, can I say the party bus after that treble win? Because I mean, I can only imagine that must have been the highlight for everyone that weekend. Yeah, if I have to say that, the final for that treble win has to be it. Or the party bus.
Nice.
Catch me there.
What would you have most liked to see in that entire thing?
I think what's crazy about that is, I think that team on that era is one of those eras where everyone took the job really seriously. It's not exactly what we have in modern footballers. So I think when you're on that party bus, though, I think that's when everyone's letting loose. That's when they're getting a bit wild. So would have been interesting to see the workaholics actually enjoy their hard work.
Nice. I love that. Definitely would have been a raucous thing to be a part
I
of,
can
but
imagine.
they deserved it. They earned it. Like you
For sure.
said. Onto present moments, and we have just got off, like I said, a 1-1 draw against Fulham about a half an hour ago, and I think we started off well. We started off really, really well.
Really well.
Dan, run me through what you thought about the first 20 minutes and then the first half in general as well.
Yeah, I think that first 15 to 20 minutes, so excited. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, okay, cool. I was glad because going into the game, I was a little bit nervous. So I was hopeful that we would be able to keep that momentum going from a good performance last week, even though we didn't get the result. So that first 15 minutes, I'm thinking, okay, cool. We're maintaining that. We're keeping that going. And then I don't know what happened. Kind of just dropped off. Not sure what it was. Maybe we just aren't able to keep that energy for so long. Maybe it's not sustainable. I'm not sure, but it was disappointing to see that we couldn't maintain it longer. And early on, those 3 chances for Cunha, like, oh, I was just like a millimeters away. Like that could have been it. That could have been it. Um, but I don't think we
We,
had any chances after that, really.
yeah, we're so unlucky. I think last week as well, Patrick Togo eating the upright. This
Yeah,
week, Cunha eating the upright as well.
yeah,
Those are moments that can change performances easily. It can like pull the rest of the
100%,
team with optimism, with like get some momentum going.
for sure.
At the moment, it's just not falling for us that way. Like you said, Cunha could have had a hat trick in the first half alone. And I mean,
Yeah.
if that happens, the rest of the game, like it's a completely different result. What I think also just like deflated the players quite a bit is Bruno Fernandes's penalty miss.
Yeah,
What did you think about his performance in general over the 90 minutes tonight?
it's a hard one. I'm one of Bruno's biggest fans. I do struggle to get on the Bruno hate bandwagon, but today was just not it at all. Unacceptable, actually. I mean, I don't know what was going through his head with that penalty. Or maybe I do. Maybe the ref couldn't have thrown him off that much. He like walk in his stride, and he just lost it.
Yeah,
And I guess that's something. That's something to. I guess that's part of the criticism Bruno gets, is that his head sometimes is just his biggest enemy, maybe. Where they like to call him a whiner or whatever. But yeah, I think he was when that ref got in his way, he was staring him down like. And then he, since when does Bruno go high, blasted into the air like that?
yeah,
It was shocking to see. And then from then on, it wasn't just a penalty though. Like it just seemed like he wasn't in it at all after that. For me, another frustrating thing about the Bruno situation is I think people think he's untouchable. Our manager maybe as well, as in he's never gonna get subbed, which isn't right. Love him. I know he has better in him, but if it's not his day, if he's not playing well, we can rotate. We need to sub him. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe this time around, maybe it shouldn't have been Mount that went off. Maybe it should have been Bruno. I thought Mount was better today.
yeah. And I don't understand like what this vendetta is between Amorim and Mainoo at the moment.
Yeah,
He is arguably one of our best midfielders,
yeah,
and to see people like Mount going back into central midfield, Ugarte coming on before him, something doesn't make sense over there because I feel like today Bruno should have been subbed.
yeah,
Bruno should have been the person who had to be sacrificed. And I feel like Kobe Mainoo would have made a difference in this result today. He's press resistant, he carries the ball, he has a bit of flair to him as well.
100%.
And when you see somebody like Bruno Fernandes losing his head a bit during the game, I think Amarim needs to be a bit braver. He needs to be a bit
Yeah,
stronger, and he needs to make tough decisions like that. His job is on the line already. He's been back during this transfer window. He's gotten the players that he's asked for. Yes, he hasn't gotten a central midfielder, but he's gotten most of the players he's asked for. He needs to start performing now. Performances like tonight, they are it counts like a match against Fulham. Like we should have gotten 3 points today. The match
for sure.
against Burnley, it's going to be under a microscope.
Yeah, that's
All
really
of these games,
for
and
sure.
I really hope he starts brushing up on everything. What is your take about Amarim so far in the first two games?
Look, I think to your point about Mainoo as well, I think, yeah, Mainoo is someone who could have made a difference today. And I think Amarim still sees him as a kid. So, I'd seen an interview when he was talking about the teenagers like Aiden Heaven, da, 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 and he mentioned Mainoo. And in my mind, I forget that Mainoo is a teenager because he's so good. And so to me, he's not a youngster. He's actually like, he should be starting games or at least coming on. The fact that he doesn't
Yeah,
come on is surprising. Um, Amarim for the season, I think he's been backed to an extent. There could be more that the club could do, but when I saw the fixtures for our starting 8 or so fixtures, Arsenal, we're going to play Liverpool, we're going to play Chelsea and City. It's the games like Fulham and Burnley that then are the ones you have to win, and you know
yeah.
that he's going to be under pressure, whether that's fair or not. It sucks that it's going to happen that early, but it's something that we have to deal with. So yeah, like you're saying, I agree. He does need to be braver in that. He needs to understand at Man United, whether it's fair or not, yeah, the pressure's on you early on. Yeah,
No, for sure, 100%. And I like just for example tonight, making two defensive substitutions in
for the
Harry
centre backs.
Maguire and Aiden Heaven over
Yeah,
bringing on Joshua Xerxes and Kobe Mainoo. So then what's the reasons for having somebody like Joshua Xerxes on the bench? Yes, I
yeah,
know he's been back to bring in Brian Mbuemo and and Mateus Cunha, and he wants them obviously to gain some momentum as well. So he's keeping them on the pitch that long. But at one point, you could see Mbomo was starting to run out of
Yeah,
steam. At that
yeah,
moment, rather bring on somebody like Xerxes, let him try to change the game as well. I wasn't behind the decision of taking Ahmad off as well, and then it was a Dalo mistake that ended up leading to the Fulham goal as well.
yeah,
So it's small moments like that,
yeah.
and yeah, like we have to move on. We got our first point of the season, so that's a very thin silver lining. But it's 2 points dropped. Any final comments from you before we move on from this result?
Yeah, look, I think it's fair to be critical of the performance today and maybe a couple of decisions that Amorim made. But I do think it's a second game. It's still early. I'm trying not to be too negative. We've got a long season ahead of us, and I'm very hopeful that the performances will pick up, that the team will start to gel a bit better, and maybe Amorim realizes, he can be a bit braver in his decisions. And yeah, positive going forward. I'm not going to hold on to this too badly. Like you said, the point is what matters. We got a point. First point of the season. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, man. That's actually a very good point to, or very good way to segue over. And I just want to speak about the good vibes in the camp. Like there's all of these social media clips coming up. Like the team looks like they gelled very well. They seem like a very cohesive unit in all of these clips that's been uploaded. Uh, there's this one clip of Ahmed trying to play golf, and Bruno's just like absolutely like canning him because he can't do anything right over there. So like the
Yeah,
laughs are good, the vibes in the camp is good, and I just want to get your take on that. Obviously, that's going to sort of build the camaraderie between them as well for the rest of the season. The season's going to be long. We've only just started, so yeah, your takes on how the new players also have come in, how they've fit into the system, how they fit into the team,
yeah.
and how they are trying to boost the morale as well.
Yeah, look, I think one of the important parts of preseason, you're trying to set out how you're going to set up for the season, but actually, the one of the most important parts is team camaraderie and like bonding together. So I've enjoyed those clips. I've enjoyed seeing the team get along. Cunha seems like he's a big personality. Seems like he's getting along with everyone there. I don't claim to know Mbumo too well, but like maybe he seems like a shy guy, but you were still at the Drake concert there with Bruno and Mainoo. So it's exciting. They've done some good things, and that's important when things are going wrong, whether it's VAR decisions or refs or results that you should have won that you didn't. You need your team. You need the people around you. So it's very important. And I think that's also the thing. Sometimes United are known for having some bad characters in the squad. So it's nice to have some positive energy, positive people, good characters. It plays a big part in a successful season, in my view.
I agree with everything that you said, and I'm just gonna use that bad personalities to go over to the bomb squad. I don't
Uh,
actually know where did that term come from. Everybody's just been referring to them as the bomb squad, but
yeah,
it's
I mean, when
it's
I hear
weird
bomb squad,
because
I think of rugby, so it's throwing me off there. Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I feel like Amarim probably planted somebody to give us a nickname. Or I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Because
maybe,
whenever they mention the bomb squad to him, he knows exactly what they mean. But there's 1 week to go.
maybe.
Literally, I think it's next week Sunday night that the window closes. That I think it's only Rashford who's left that bomb squad. The rest of them are all
Mm.
there. Anthony, Malacia, Garnacho, and who was the other one? There was
Well,
one more.
Malaysia is someone you forget about. I don't know if he falls part of that bomb squad, but
Yeah,
so he's also one that's like could be
yeah.
out.
There's no way back for him. So I think that's why he's listed in there. But yeah, like I mean, Anthony apparently Betis is coming with one final offer now, and they are holding out for that. According to Fabrizio, Garnacho will be a Chelsea player this week. Make no there's no doubt about it. And then Hoyland as well. Like he's, I think, kind of joined the bomb squad now as well. Even though he's still training with the team, like
Yeah,
he's taking part in every training session, and it's so confusing to me. Like I don't understand. Like the rumors that's come out and the tweets that's come out is that he's been like a proper professional. He's been giving
yeah, yeah,
110% in training. So I understand that he wants to leave as a professional footballer. Like he doesn't want anything to go wrong. He wants to be known as the person that's given his all and up until
yeah,
the very last. Um, but yeah, it's weird that like Amorim still like keeping allowing him back, whereas these other guys they've literally been excluded from training. The other four members of the bomb squad they are training on their own. They're not
yeah.
doing anything with the team. But Hoyland is still there. He's still integrated in the team. He's still doing what needs to be done. Um, just like talk me through your opinion of the bomb squad. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think all of them will leave in the next week? And what do you think happens if they don't?
So it's an interesting one. I think, as you were mentioning there, Hoyland's been, quite the professional, might leave, but I think that, in my view of what the bomb squad is, like, doesn't include him in that. To me, the bomb squad is then like, is that the bad characters or the unprofessional
Yeah,
players who are like making the demands and they don't want to play for United. That to me is the difference between the few.
yeah.
Sancho, why are you still a United player? Like, what? I don't
That's
know.
the other member,
That's the
Sancho.
other one. That's the big one. That's the big one. I mean, he started it all. He's the biggest freedom fighter of them all, isn't he? So that's yeah, it's disappointing. I think some players can go. Hoyland maybe ends up leaving ahead of the bomb squad, is which is weird to me. I think there's certain players who need to leave. Sancho being one of them. Garnacho, even Rashford's. I mean, Rashford, I have a soft spot for Rashford, but he's left as a loan, which is weird to me. That it hasn't been like he hasn't been sold yet. Maybe it's after the loan move. But yeah, we started the transfer window knowing that all of these players have to leave, and we've only gotten one out the door on a loan. It's strange.
Yeah,
I know Garnacho is demanding Chelsea, and I think we're letting him go. It's just we want a reasonable price. Um, I don't know if people are valuing our players at the price that we've set. Real basis for Anthony, they want him, but can they afford him? For him to also, I don't know if he understands that we want you to go. You can go, but they need to pay us a fair price. Not letting you go for free. So it's a strange one. I don't know how many actually leave within this week. Um, I'm hoping all. Uh, but if Garnacho's out, Sancho, if he at least I don't know, maybe we're letting him go out on loan and letting him run down his contract. But he's not going to play for United again, so they can all leave. It's fine. It's disappointing, but I mean we'll deal with that.
do you think that there's a way back for any of them if they do stay past the transfer window?
So it's interesting because I think Amarim spoke about that where he was saying, look, for now they training on their own, and when the transfer window closes, we'll see what happens. I don't know if that's just him getting an out so that he can, or leaving the door open for them to come back if we end up having to still have him in our squad. I think there's probably room for anyone. It's just it comes with an apology. I don't know if their egos allow for that. Um, you have to say my behavior is unacceptable. You take ownership of what you've done or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see. The thing is that Anthony, I don't think fits into the squad. Whether his attitude is right or wrong. Garnacho is disappointing because he is a great footballer. He's still young. I think he will tear it up at Chelsea, but yeah, I think he thinks he's Ronaldo and he's not there yet. Maybe in the future, but he thinks he's a little bit bigger than he is. So it'll be interesting. Talent-wise, he can come back. Attitude-wise, I don't know. It'll be hard. It'll be a hard one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a long way back in terms of trust as
Yeah.
well, because I mean all the comments that Garnacho made, especially in that Europa League final, the comments that he made after that, saying that if he had played me, then yeah, we would have won. I mean, you can't be undermining your manager like that. Like, keep things like that in the dressing room. Have a conversation with your manager one on one instead of like leaking it to the press. And yeah, no, man. Like I don't know. There's this one comment that came out as well that Garnacho is willing, even if he's still at Man United, he's willing to just suck it up and sit on the bench until January and then try again. I mean, this is a World Cup year. He's trying to get into the Argentina squad for the World Cup next year, and I don't know. With that attitude, I don't think the Argentina management team is going to be overly excited to take you in as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think people like I think Anthony, if he does remain at Man United past the deadline, there could be a way for him to come back. I remember before he was loaned out, there was a time he was playing right wing back as well, and he didn't look too bad in that
Mm.
position in the couple of appearances that he did play over there. So that's something that maybe Amorim can work with if he wants to look for change. If United do go far in the Carabao Cup, that we're going to speak about in a bit,
Yeah.
but just to have a deeper squad, if you would like. But right now, I think they're just going to focus 100% on getting them out, and like you said, if they are still there, then they'll see how to reintegrate back into the team. I think the difference between that bomb squad and Hoyland as well is the fact that he wants to play. He doesn't want
100%.
to just chill on the bench. He doesn't want to just be a bit part. He wants to be important. He wants to know that he's trusted, and I think that's what Napoli is trying to bring to the table with him. They even discussing like having that obligation to buy
Mm.
in the loan offer that they're doing. So I think he is definitely going to go to Napoli sometime this week.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it's an abrupt end to his Man United career. He's only 22 years old. I had very high hopes for him because I
Yeah.
think that he wasn't really taken care of by Man United in the first place, coming in 19 years old, having to lead the line alone, no senior striker to learn from, just having to have that burden all on his shoulder, and it just didn't work out for him. His first season wasn't even too bad. Like he had that spell
100%.
from
Yeah.
like November until March where he was just like bagging goals. Then he got injured at the end of March, and I mean, it's just been downhill since then because the more chances he missed, the more the fans started jumping down his back. And yeah, it wasn't really a healthy environment for a youngster.
No, fully agree.
Sesko comes in now, 22 years old. I'm really, really hoping that the fans don't react in the same way to him. He played about 40 minutes today. He played 20
Yeah.
minutes against Arsenal. So yeah, I hope that there's enough care this time with the striker coming in.
No, for sure, I agree. I think people forget about Oyland's first season, because last season was so bad. But I feel like everyone in United had a bad season last year. I mean, we finished
Yeah,
15th, right? Yeah. So it is a bit unlucky for Oyland. I think we also forget like his goals in the Champions League because we fell out after the group stage mainly for, goalkeeper errors. But Hoyland was the one who gave us a chance in that. He scored quite a few good goals in that Champions League. So I think it's a bit gone too soon. I think it has only been 2 seasons. I would have liked to see what he could do this season, but maybe it is best that we sell him now when we can get some money for him. I guess. Maybe if he did stay and it was another bad season, but maybe it would be harder to sell, and then we end up in that same cycle that we've been in with all our other players. So
yeah.
yeah, bit of a mixed bag with that one.
Yeah, I think he's going to follow the same path as Scott McTominay, Ballon d'Or nominee.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Let's not forget.
I think he's going to go to Napoli, especially now with Lukaku injured.
Yeah,
He's going to be the main man over there, and I feel like Antonio Conte will know exactly what to do with him. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a large part of this fan base that's going to be gunning Ruben Amorim in a few months for allowing him to leave. Um, you know how that
it's such a weird
revisionism
one.
goes. Yeah,
It's a yeah, very weird. We forget the same people who are begging for that person to leave. Then when they tear it up in the Italian league,
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, we made a mistake. Shouldn't have let him go." Come on, guys. Let's not be so fickle.
You spoke about goalkeeping errors in the Champions League that basically hindered us from moving forward. Um,
Yeah,
Today, I think there was about 3 or 4 journalists that said Lammens is basically on his way to Manchester United. He was left out of the Royal Antwerp matchday squad today as well. So seems like things are um, accelerating in the right direction. I feel like he will be somewhere like heading to Manchester sometime this week. So do you think that that means Andre Onana is as good as gone, or do you think that there are any other incomings or outgoings besides the bomb squad, besides Hoyland, besides Lammens that would actually happen this week? So, firstly, speak to me about Lammens, speak to me about Onana, and then give me any other wild cards you think could be in or out.
yeah. So it's an interesting one with Lammens. Lammens. I'm not actually sure on the pronunciation there, but it's an interesting one with Lammens because the goalkeeping situation. We all agree on is bad, but have we settled on Bayinda being any better or any worse? So I don't know if Lamins comes in as a number two to Onana or Bayinda. I don't know what's happening. Bayinda today, didn't make any errors necessarily, but it's still like it doesn't give me that confidence.
Yeah.
So I'll be very happy if we sign a goalkeeper, any goalkeeper, if it's going to be a youngster. I would have maybe preferred Donnarumma, but maybe we can't afford that. I believe he's going to City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'll be really happy if Lamens comes in. I think probably we do get him. Um, I'm just not sure if I don't think he goes straight into our first squad. I think he's in a backup goalkeeper to start at least. And I'm also just not sure if it's just really tough to be a United keeper because I feel like even Onana, came in. People thought that he was going to be the savior. They had turned on De Gea so quickly. So I'm hoping that we give the youngster a chance to develop properly, and then hopefully he can be our saving grace going forward.
Yeah. The reason why I brought up Onana leaving is because I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. There
Mm.
was a post that came out that said that if another goalkeeper comes in, Onana would still want to be number one,
Mm.
else he's looking for a way out. So, like you said, is Altai or Onana our number one? Um,
Yeah,
which of the two would be heading for the exit door? I think that with the trust that Amarim had in Altai now for the first 2 games, I'm leaning more towards Altai being the one who stays and
yeah,
Onana because I feel like we'll be able to get a better price for Onana than we
for
would
sure,
for Altai.
for sure.
So I think that they think about it financially as well. And I think there would be more clubs interested in Onana than there would be for Altai. Um,
Yeah, I'm
other,
surprised
well,
there hasn't been much talk
yeah.
of like clubs making offers for Nana, up until now recently and
I
stuff.
think
But
that's because they haven't really put a price tag on him. They haven't
mm,
outright said
or
he's
made
for
it know
sale.
that he's available. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, so yeah, like you're saying, if Lamens comes in and Bayinda is the one starting all our games, is Onana then third choice? So
yeah,
I think it does mean that he leaves. Um, I'm excited to see what happens. It'll be an interesting one.
That would be an interesting one. So, say for example, in the next 2 days, Lammens, however you say his name, we'll get some clarification on that
Yeah, yeah. When he does his
when the
Premier League
announcements are made.
intro and says his name
Um,
for sure.
but who do you think would be the goalkeeper in goal for the Carabao Cup game on Wednesday night against Grimsby Town?
So that's interesting though, because if you're playing that game, or you are second choice. So if Onana's playing on Wednesday, second choice keeper usually plays the Carabao Cup games, especially in these early rounds. So yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be Onana. Let's see what happens on Wednesday. And if it is him, then I do think, yeah, that means you're number two, and if Lammens comes in, you're number three. I don't know.
That
That
is,
then he surely does find a new club.
yeah, that's wild. Then I think by then that's Wednesday, so there's about 4 days left in the window
Yeah,
then for him to
yeah.
try and I don't think that he'll be short of suitors at all. Um, let's just speak about that Carabao Cup game, and it is. I think it's been eons since United have been in the second round of the Carabao Cup, because I don't think that they've ever been in the second round of the Carabao Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Not that I can recall,
Because
not in my
yeah,
recent memory.
so it's
A
wild
bit of a
that
weird one.
it's wild that they're going to be entering the competition so early. Do you think that Amorim is going to be sending in extremely young players, some from the under 21s maybe? Or do you think he's going to go with an extremely strong team and try to get the players as much confidence to move forward with?
Look, I would think that you maybe not like extremely young, but our bench players need to be playing. We haven't seen Zotzi or Onana. There's a few players, Kobe Mainoo, maybe now he plays this game and shows you, look, you can start in the Premier League. So I would hope that we'd see a lot of our current squad as well. A bit of a mixture of that. You can throw in a few youngsters for sure. I wouldn't go extremely young. I think it's a chance to see what your backups have to offer. And yeah, it's still early on in the season. You can consider it a preseason game, maybe. You want to get some rotation. You want to get a few people some minutes that haven't been playing, and it's a chance to work on some things as well with a little bit less pressure. So I wouldn't go too young, be a bit too arrogant with it.
Who do you think needs a really good performance in this game? Or who do you think needs like the the best, like a 10 out of 10 performance in this game?
Yeah, so it's a tough one. I want to see Mainoo play, and I want him to like give a 10 out of 10 performance. But like you were saying, is that enough for Amorim? I'm not sure what it is that he's like not convinced by Mainoo yet. Um, I think whoever our goalkeeper is, if it's Onana, I think he needs to make sure he's got a
Yeah.
10 out of 10 performance as well. Um, and I'd like to see our striking option, whoever it is, if Xerxes is playing, maybe Cisco can also start this game and have a lot of more minutes than what he's had previously. I would like to see some goals. We've not scored yet. We've got an own goal to our name so far. It would be nice to see the attackers pulling up, and a clean sheet is a must.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see like the back three pairing,
Mm.
because I think Leniaro, he's the first name on the team sheet this season. He was immaculate last week. He was
Yeah,
amazing again today. I mean, Jason once called him supreme, and I'm always going to remember that, even though he's going to deny it every single time. But I have it on clip, so yeah.
yeah, we've got evidence.
We have evidence. We have evidence. The receipts are there. But yeah, he's amazing. I think the left has been probably our second best player so far
Yeah,
this season. He was amazing last week. He was really really good today.
yeah,
I think Luke Shaw started well at left centre back as well. It's going to be interesting to see once Licha comes back if Luke Shaw is still going to be there, or if Leach has to
Yeah.
like really work his way to take that spot back. So I'm quite happy with our back three, but it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to rotate those threes. If Harry Maguire is going to be the centre back, Aiden Heaven coming in. I don't know if Mazraoui is going to be fit by Wednesday, but yeah, that's one of the things that I'm very much looking forward to seeing on Wednesday.
Yeah, I do expect to see a rotation. I think maybe Maguire's starts this game as well, like you're saying. And yeah, it's a chance for Aiden Heaven to play, so I definitely would like to see that. It's interesting what you said about Leitcher, because I've been wondering that as well. To me, when he was playing, he's like one of the best centre backs around, and it's always been him and De Ligt. Thought that they were
Yeah.
the main two, but we haven't seen it much because of injuries. So yeah, I'm wanting to know what happens when he's back and ready, because Luke Shaw is also another injury-prone player. So which one takes it is going to be an interesting one too.
Yeah. And then up front, I agree with you. I think Cisco does start. He finally starts. And then Xerxes behind him. Maybe he
Yeah,
plays Kobe in the 10 next to
yeah,
Xerxes. So you have a front three of Cisco, Xerxes, and Kobe. And then in the midfield, as much as I hate to see it, to say it, I think Ugarte is going to
I
start.
was waiting for that.
And
I
I'm
was
probably
waiting
going
for
to be absolutely like on the edge of my seat from the first minute. I'm not going to enjoy that. I'm hoping that he makes me eat some humble pie this season, but I
that.
really just don't see the vision at all, and I don't think he sees the vision either.
Yeah, same poor guy. No, look, I'm not too mad at Ugarte. I think he's not a starter, but I'm okay with him being a squad player and playing in the Carabao Cup game. Let's see what happens there. Look, I am still trying to figure out what he was thinking with that shot at Arsenal. Won't go there, but no, yeah, Carabao Cup game is fine. Squad player, rotation player, I'm fine with that. Um, so yeah, let's see. Ugarte in the
Cool.
mid.
So, final question: what do you think the prediction is for this game? Do you think we are going emphatic, or do you think we are absolutely grinding out a victory, or do you
Wednesday's
think we
game?
lose?
No, come on now, easy now. Um, no, Wednesday's game. It has to be a win. That's standard, and I think I don't mean to sound arrogant with it or cocky with it, because I'm fully aware that we finished 15th and there's a reason we're playing in the second round. But anything less than 3-0 is bad. It's not great. We should be scoring. We should have a clean sheet. I hope we have 3 goals minimum, and then hopefully anything more than that would be good to see. I might
Mm.
be, maybe I'm being too positive. I'm
It's a
forgetting who I'm
it's a
talking
cup
about.
tie. It's a cup tie, and Grimsby will absolutely be there for it. But even so, I am hoping for a 2-0 United win.
Yeah,
I feel like just like a couple of the guys getting a goal, getting off the mark,
yeah,
and then hopefully that sort of carries over to the weekend against Burnley, and we can take that optimism and that motivation and that momentum moving forward, and that just catapults us for the rest of the season. One last
yeah.
thing before we wrap up: how do you think we are now? Just finished with game week 2. How do you see United's season going out? How do you see the rest of the season playing out? And are you optimistic about it?
Yeah, I'm still optimistic. The end of last season, I didn't think that optimism was going to come back, but they've somehow convinced me. Maybe it was the signings. Hopefully, if we can make a couple more signings in this last week, then I'll be even more optimistic. I'm feeling positive. I'm expecting at least the top half of the table finish, and I'm hoping even more for European football. I, I'm, I'm I'm hesitant to say top five is doable. I think the next few weeks we'll see how that goes. But yeah, a win against Burnley I think is important. From there, anything is possible. It's really early, and if we start finding our feet and winning games, yeah, I'm hopeful.
Will
Top
you be
five is
happy
my
with?
hope. Whether realistic or
But
not is another question.
will you be happy if United gets Conference League? Do you think that I mean anything would be improvement from last season?
That's the key there. So I won't be happy with that, but yeah, it cannot be worse than last season. So that's already I'm happy with that. But no, yeah, I'll be happy with top five if that's a Champions League finish, and or at least like if we're getting a Europa or something and a sixth or seventh, and we've really put in a fight, then I think I can be happy with that.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Thank you so much, Dan, for coming on. That is the
Thanks
end
for
of
having
our
me.
episode. Would you can plug yourself? Where can people find you? What you have going on? We know that you are very vocal over on TikTok, so tell us all about that.
Yeah, no, it's DanLovesFooty on TikTok over there, and that's all. I'm not on X or Instagram or anything. Just on TikTok. Yeah, you can find me there.
And a follow-up question: will we be seeing more of you on Sportycast moving forward?
I think it depends how this episode goes. So everybody, like, subscribe, comment down below. If you want to see me, yeah, let's do that. I would be
Nice.
glad to be back. Yes, if you'll have me.
Dan Loves Footy coming to a live stream very, very soon. We are waiting for it. And yeah, that is the end of the episode. I am a, like she said, like, subscribe, tell everybody about this, share it everywhere. Follow us on all social media platforms. We are at Sportycast. Um, find us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Uh, give us a 5-star rating. Leave a comment over there. And yeah, just spread the word about our channel as far as possible. We do appreciate it. But yeah, that is all for the Reto podcast today. Next week will be the finale, and we have 2 episodes coming up next week with 2 different content creators. So stay tuned for that one. But from everybody here at Sportycast, peace.